petty, petty. Most of these bitches is 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 petty. Most of these petty. Most of these bitches is petty. 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 Most of these bitches is petty.
What is up, guys? What is good? What is Gucci? It is your girl Petty Paige back at it again with yet another video for you hoes. At this point, I should be calling myself Pregnant Paige because I am still effing pregnant. I'm praying and hoping that all of this will be over by Wednesday, which is when I get my sweep. Oh God, I have never wanted somebody's entire hand to be inside my vagina more than I have wanted somebody's entire hand to be inside my right now. Anyway, enough about me and the conspiracy as to why this child will not evacuate my body. Today we are going to be talking about MANNY MUA as well as Jen Luv's reviews and why I believe that both of these people are being treated extremely differently here on social media, and explaining my stance, because a lot of people didn't understand my stance on social media. A lot of people did not understand what it was that I was trying to say on Twitter. That's completely fine. That's why I have a platform here, because I can just talk to you and just tell you exactly how it is that I feel. But before I get into this whole entire drama and how Jen Luvs is at the epicenter of it all, please do not forget to hit that like button as well as smashing that subscribe button with all post notifications on so that you never miss a notification from the Petty Paige channel. Today's sponsor is from one of my long-term sponsors, Juvias Place. Check out this quick advert and I'll be back with you with the rest of the drama. Today's video is proudly sponsored by Juvias Place. Oh my god, guys, so Juvias Place have sent me their PR package, which is the bronzed collection. Now apparently this collection is supposed to be full of bronzers and all of that good stuff, but it comes with so much more. We are talking lip glosses, we are talking matte liquid lips, we are talking eyeshadow palettes, as well as 3 bronzers in deep dark, dark and tan. The eyeshadow palette is absolutely gorgeous, comes with a nice little pop of color. Eyeshadow palette is called the Bronzed Rustic. Definitely for you if you want to have your hot girl summer. It's giving me all the vibes, honey. And I couldn't work out which one of the bronzers it was that I was going to choose, but I did end up using deep dark and used the lightest shade in the deep dark, and I think it really worked for me. It is so smooth, it blends out so well. I actually use Sephora to contour my face, but I am definitely high-key going to be switching over to this only because of the blendability, because sometimes I can end up looking like a drag queen and sometimes I can end up having a really harsh line, and if that's not what I'm going for, it could be really hard to blend it out. I finished this look up with the lip liner Brownie as well as the 2 lipsticks, Bronze Chestnut and Bronze Toast, and I think it came out really well. This was literally my first time ever using a bronzer over a traditional contour palette, and I have to say I am now converted. So definitely go and check out Juvias Place. Use code PETTY in order to get yourself some discounts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to Juvias Place for your continued and ongoing support of me and my channel. Okay, so let's get into it. So you've probably already heard the story from a bunch of different drama channels already, so I won't go too deep into it. But basically what happened was a couple of days ago, there was a photo that resurfaced from the vice president of Ofra Cosmetics, where they were wearing a Republican hat, holding the American flag and doing a white power symbol using their hands, as well as a caption, "We love you, Trump." I feel as if the picture had just been the flag, the hat, as well as the caption, I don't think it would have been viewed as bad as it's come across on social media. However, because of the hand symbol, it kind of gives a whole new dynamic when it comes to white supremacy. And then compiled on top of that is the series of various different donations that the vice president has given to the Trump administration. If you aren't aware of who Jen Luvs is, she has pretty much built an entire YouTube career off the back of being extremely vocal when it comes to various different brands and also what it is that she is willing to co-sign. A lot of people trust and respect her opinion because from the outset it looks as if Jen is not swayed by PR, she is not swayed by by money. She is not swayed by who people think is the most popular. If a brand is trash, she is more than willing to call them out and tell them that they are trash. So it was extremely unsurprising to me when I saw that Jen Luv's reviews was possibly one of the most vocal influencers when it came to this Ofra scandal, because a lot of people were cancelling Ofra for the photo that was found from 2016, and they also did not like Ofra's response, which you should see on the screen as I'm currently talking. However, the way that Jen Luv's reviews reacted to this whole situation is by far possibly the worst way that you should ever react to something. So this is what Jen Luv's reviews had to say on her Twitter, and said, "I will be addressing this on Sunday, though this is not the full story. One thing I do want to point out is that today that the OK symbol is being used for white power, which began in 2017. The photo where the people are referencing from was 2016. And then she posted a reference that she felt confirmed that. She continued, "I want to be clear, I'm going to do my research and I have the story organised and ready for Sunday's show. We are talking facts, not feelings. What do we know? What is the evidence? Then let people decide for themselves what to do with those facts." Immediately to me, this was an extremely strange stance for Jen to have taken from the outset, because it seemed as if Jen was going to be extremely defensive on the side of Ofra Cosmetics, and that's the way it presented to her audience as well, because a lot of people honestly weren't digging the vibe, and a lot of people then went on to bring up her AOC video, which to many people was a complete and utter disaster and should never have been made. She has since taken down that video and apologized for the entire situation. However, when stuff like this is reoccurring, it honestly makes people remember the past. Anyway, approximately 24 hours later, Jen Luv's reviews came through with a notepad apology, basically explaining her stance and apologizing for the way that she put out the information the previous day. And this is what Jen had to say. "On Tuesday, I tweeted the attached tweet. My personal relationship with Ofra, not David, but the people actually involved in developing my collab, impacted my thought process, and I got hyper-focused on a detail that didn't matter. I allowed that to happen. I inappropriately acted on it, and I am so sorry. I am ashamed and embarrassed that I even thought that for a moment that the timeline of the white power symbol was important. What is important is that the owners of Ofra actively supported the Trump campaign in both elections, and when you support Trump, you support racists and white supremacist ideologies. When I collabed with Ofra, I had no idea that the owners felt this way, or I would not have done it. My contract officially ends in January 2022, but I am attempting to end it sooner, and I will not promote Ofra products as long as David and Ofra are employed by the brand. I do not support white supremacy or those who donate to the white supremacist movement, and I have asked for Ofra to remove me from their website and deactivate my affiliate code. I have also unlisted all of my Ofra videos, including my launch video, so that they cannot be found in a YouTube search. I'm truly sorry to the people that I've offended or hurt by my tweet about the timeline of the white power hand gesture. It was irrelevant and should not have been highlighted." Now, I do have to point out that at this point in time, Jen Luvs was the only person who had a collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics that had come forward to make an active stand against Ofra Cosmetics, or even just be vocal on the situation at all. It took most influencers 48 hours plus to even say anything to do with the whole situation with Ofra. And there are still some influencers such as Kathleen Light who have not said anything about the situation at all, even to this moment. So it was absolutely fascinating to me to see that the literal only person who has been vocal about the Ofra Cosmetics situation and has taken an active and prompt stance towards that is the only person getting dragged from one side of the internet to the other, until I started digging a little bit deeper as to who was actually dragging Jen Luv's reviews. And lo and behold, it was Here for the Lonely Housewife. I'm sorry, Here for the Tea. Because if you aren't in the know, her and Jen have had a long-standing beef after Jen disagreed with her one time. Now, it's absolutely no secret that I dislike Here for the Tea. I don't like the way that she overspeaks black people. I don't like the way that she harvests black anger in order to utilize it for her own personal gain. Also don't like the way that she's a 40-year-old, horrible, miserable, ignorant coward who will literally hold people to ridiculously impossible standards that she herself cannot uphold in her own personal life, including, but not limited to, having control over what her audience does. For the past 4.5 to 5 years, Here for the Tea has refused to take accountability for what it is that her audience does. She continuously states that she has absolutely no impact over what it is that members of her audience choose to do, even though you will constantly, consistently and actively see her replying to those audience members who are doing the attacking, as well as being in their live streams and all other social media platforms. Whenever they do something good for her, she gives them a right good scratch on the fucking back, actively requesting that other people, including myself, hold their friends accountable. Well, in this situation, MANNY MUA has an outstanding collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics and gave a terrible response to it all. Also, MANNY MUA was found in a video with James Charles and also has said nothing about that situation. But apparently, every other drama channel needs to sit down and be held accountable for their relationships with Jeffree Star, for their relationships with Richard Lux, for their relationships with any other person who may have ever done anything wrong on the internet ever. But when it comes to her, it is radio silence. I need black people to realize that she is using you. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about Black Lives Matter. She doesn't care about people. She cares about her goddamn self. The difference between myself and Here for the Tea is that I actually have a lived experience as a black person. You may disagree with me. You may disagree with my thoughts. You may disagree with the way that I move on social media. But absolutely one thing that absolutely nobody on this planet will ever be able to take away from me is my lived experience as a black person. And in my lived experience as a black person, I truly believe that every white person is inherently racist. And I know that is such a horrible thing to say and a bitter pill for a lot of people to be able to swallow, that white people are inherently racist, but they are inherently racist because of the system that was in place for a lot of white people even before they even took their first breath on this planet. They're already put in a position of privilege from the moment that they open their eyes. So for that reason, I believe that all white people have to take an active approach to discombobulate systematic racism and systematic oppression. And that is by being an ally, that is by learning, that is by reflective thinking, that is by actively supporting financially as well as vocally various different groups outside of your own. And with that means making missteps. With that means getting over your own privilege and having to look at yourself in the mirror and think to yourself, am I doing the right thing for everybody and not just for me? How am I continuing to benefit from this system? How do I utilize that privilege and benefit that I already have to help other people? These are all questions that white people have to ask themselves in order to dismantle racism. So I do have a small level of empathy for white people who are born into racism and then have to actively dismantle it from the moment that they're born. Believe that all the missteps that people make, whether it be publicly or privately, overtly or covertly, is there so that other people can set them on the right track. I believe that it is all of our duties as a community in order to uplift everybody and educate each other. We need to get out of our head that once somebody makes a mistake on social media, that they should never make a mistake like that ever again, unless we're talking about, like, you know, what the hell James Charles is doing up there in the Hollywood Hills. Because systematic racism and oppression is not a switch. We don't get to just flick it off. People don't just wake up one morning like, oh, I'm no longer a racist. There's going to be slip-ups, but it's about how you hold yourself accountable. And as far as I'm concerned, and people don't have to agree with me, in this Jen Luv situation, she was loud and wrong. And I agree that she was loud and wrong. But she chose to make it right. She chose not to continue to benefit from a system that put her in a place and in a position of privilege, which is absolutely way more than anybody else at that point had done. Okay, so yes, because of how public Jen is and because of how public Jen had made her stance, we had to sit there and watch in real time on Twitter as she came to terms with her own privilege as she was confronted face to face, eye to eye with the situation that she knew that she had a moral obligation to deal with. And the way that she dealt with it initially was instantaneously burying her head in the sand. We have to remember that she is just like every other white person on this planet who has to dismantle racism every single day. You want to bury your head in the sand, but sometimes that is not the best thing to do. And after some self-reflection, and after some time away from the internet and thinking about what it is that she wanted to do and how it is that she wanted to make an active approach and stance, she came to a way better conclusion than I think anybody else has. So let's talk about MANNY MUA and the way that he chose to deal with the situation. So after Here for the Dry Energy, Here for the Tea had continued to go on and on social media about how bad Jen was, people were pointing the finger at her and saying, hey, isn't it about time that MANNY said something? And she said that MANNY was going to be dealing with the situation. Well, lo and behold, MANNY MUA did in fact make a video, and in that video he did include a clip where he spoke exclusively about the Ofra situation. So here is that clip.
Hey guys, Manny out in the field here, jumping in really quickly. So it is currently Saturday morning, and I was going to insert a clip this weekend for the video because on the Thursday that I filmed this, I actually reached out to Ofra themselves and was like, what's going to be done about the situation? Because I didn't want to just basically say in the video, like, I'm no longer going to support them. I'm no longer going to work with them. If they were making changes behind the scenes. And basically, like, the only change I really wanted to happen was for David to step down. And that's actually what's happening. So they let me know that this week they're going to be making another announcement this week, and that the CEO is actually stepping down from that position, and the COO is actually going to be taking over. So they actually are implementing some changes, some real changes in the company. And so I think from now, I'm just going to kind of wait it out and see what's going to go on, what's going to happen, how it's all going to transpire. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to completely de-affiliate with them as of right at this moment. I'm going to see. I'm going to wait. I'm going to kind of see what's going on. I want to be, again, really, really informed in this decision because Ofra is a brand that I do love and I do care about the team. But I wanted to see major change happening, and apparently it's going to be coming. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I just kind of want to keep you guys informed because I filmed this on Thursday. It's Saturday morning. I got a text back from the team and they let me know that, like, there are actual changes going on and that he's actually going to be stepping down from a decision-making kind of position. So we'll kind of see. We will see what goes on, but I just wanted to give you guys a little more information on that.
Yes, so in a video that was 33 minutes long, titled "Let's Get Ready and Spill Some Tea, Kind of Nervous," he decided to slot in 14 minutes into the video this whole situation with Ofra Cosmetics as him quote-unquote addressing the situation. And I was honestly left with a sour taste in my mouth because all I thought to myself was, so essentially when it comes to white supremacy, we're taking a let's see how it goes approach. He's going to be stepping down, so let's see if he does. And people are completely fine with this response, which is really just absolutely ludicrous to me because I'm looking back at it and I'm just thinking to myself, well, hold on, 14 and a half minutes into your video is when you decided to discuss this. It wasn't even at the forefront of your video. It wasn't even at the forefront of your get ready with me. You couldn't even slot it in at the very beginning to make sure that people knew your stance from the outset. You decided to slot it in there 14 minutes into the video so that you could tick off a box and say, I did it too. That to me tells me that you're saying white supremacy, no big deal. So to break this down to the lowest denominator right now, so we have Jen Luv, who literally has told everyone, I am going to stop my bag with immediate effect until they figure out what the hell is going on up there and make some crucial decisions. And then you've got MANNY MUA who's like, I'm going to continue to hold on to my bag and, you know, see what happens. I want to see if what they're saying is going to come to fruition. Because Jen was less discreet with her thought process, Jen is the villain and MANNY MUA is regarded as, you know, Saint Manny for coming to the rescue with all this new information. No, that. MANNY MUA didn't even give this situation the dignity and respect that it deserved in the video, and I'm supposed to clap for him for his mediocrity. So when I said that Jen Luv's reviews set the standard that honestly got so many people in their feelings, I meant that Jen set the standard because she stopped her bag. She stopped her bag for this. while everybody else continued to collect coins or stayed deadly silent. That was the standard. The standard was stop your bag immediately. But these money-hungry influencers can't even put pause on their coins for white supremacy. The thing about this all is that David, the co-owner who was in the picture and everything, leaving Ofra Cosmetics or stepping down doesn't necessarily stop his gravy train. Even if him and his partner, who I have heard is like a duo within the company, were to leave Ofra Cosmetics, they still have their daughter employed, and it would be most likely that their daughter would become the CEO or the COO of the company in general. This would be the equivalent of the owner of Anastasia Beverly Hills saying some messed up shit, then them getting rid of her in order to save face for the company, and Norvina continuing to run the company. Essentially, the family benefits and the family is still going to be collecting them coins. And I'm sure that David will be distributing those coins to the Trump administration as soon as he gets them. So, was this really enough? Or should we just be boycotting the company in general? Or would a boycott even work at this point? Because as it stands, a lot of people are honestly okay with Ofra as long as he's gone. And it's just like, at this point, I'm just so sick of being disappointed by the internet's reaction to stuff. When it comes to keeping the same energy, literally nobody does. Anyway, that is about it for me and my thoughts on the whole entire situation. Tell me what it is that you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you like it, if you don't, I don't give a shit anyway. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification with the bell so that you guys get a notification every single time the Petty Paige posts new content. Right, I am outie. I shall see you in another drama video. Hopefully not pregnant. Bye.
Most of these bitches is petty.